You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. If you're a smoker or dipper looking to make a change, you really only need one reason to do it. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you can find many. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch. It's made with only 6 simple ingredients. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Learn more about Zyn and find your reason to make a change by registering online at Zyn.com.
Bada boom, sold.
Huh?
Just sold my car on Carvana. Dropping it off and getting paid today.
Already?
What, you still haven't sold yours? You told me about it months ago. Is the offer good?
Oh, the offer's great.
Don't have another car yet?
I could trade it in for this car I love.
Come on, what are we waiting for?
You're right.
Let's go.
Whether you're looking to sell your car right now or just whenever feels right, go to Carvana.com and sell your car the convenient way. Terms and conditions apply.
Shadow Show.
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 Shadowing it.
Do you know how hard it is, Stugotz, for you to be watching television on Monday night to see that game between Tennessee and Miami and to have your television experience the following night be worse than that? That's hard. That's mathematically difficult. Chris Cody is working on a character here that he's looking to debut on today's show.
You're talking about baseball?
Baseball was good yesterday.
Yeah, what were you watching
Mets.
yesterday? It was bad.
Basketball was good, too.
Yeah, what was bad?
Guys, we have a lot to get to.
Preseason hockey? Who cares?
We need to move on. We just have a lot. Let's stay focused on the topic.
Okay.
Amin is here. That's always exciting, and I'm interested to get some good Karl Anthony Towns analysis as opposed to most of what it is that we've been doing around here. Tony, what are you dressed as?
Today I'm the guy from Reno 911, New Boot Goofin. They just didn't buy the boots, so I'm old boot goofin.
I thought you were Farva.
Oh.
Liter Cola?
Yeah.
I thought you were going for Chips a long time ago.
That's what I thought,
a motorcycle television show from
Eric Estrada.
I can be anything you want,
Can you
Dan.
take a step back?
Oh, Punch.
If you're really doing Reno 911, we need to see how short those shorts are.
The shorts aren't short enough, as you can see. Like, they need to be, like...
No one can see yet.
It's a
shadow.
No one can
Roll
see.
them
This
up
is audio
a bit.
only. And also, as an added bonus, no one can hear you because you weren't so
Well, no,
far
I
away from
was
the
far
microphone.
away from the mic. But you can hear me from back here. The thing is, the shorts are too long, Dan. I need them shorter. I've rolled them up 3 times.
So you don't have boots and you don't have the proper shorts, and we're
a
asking
couple
you
wedgie.
what it is that you're doing, and we think you're something other than what you are.
Dan, I can be whatever you want me to be. It's okay. You want me to be
Super
Chips? I'll be
Trooper
Chips.
vibes.
That's Stugotz's fantasy right there. You're saying that to him.
Tony is Ponch.
Poncherelli is Italian.
Poncherelli was Italian, even though he wasn't Italian. I was looking for the Ponch joke, Paunch on Stugotz, but I didn't want to start the morning. I didn't want to start the morning there with some hostilities. Billy, what are you guys doing in Chicago? I don't sense a general enthusiasm from you and Stugotz about going to Chicago.
Well, it's a day-to-day situation.
Tony's fired up.
I'm very
fluid,
excited.
yeah.
Very excited.
It's a fluid situation, Dan.
Yeah. Getting daily updates on
Love
what
Chi-Town.
it is. Trying to plan it, but
Chicagoland,
one
love
day to
it.
the next, you know.
That's not much of a promotion for what it is that
Come
you're
see
doing.
us. We'll be there.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it with some flair and some
Joe's
some
on
pomps and
weed.
circumstance, Dan? Is that what you want?
Joe's on Weed Street, my favorite street in America. How about that?
I'll be there. Stugotz will be there.
Stew on weed.
12 Eastern. I've been told now we're going to be on a stage performing for a live crowd. So you can be part of that live crowd if you'd like to be. Just show up at the bar and then be over the age that you need to be.
Guys, we got a lot to get to.
Well,
we need
hold
to
on.
stay focused here.
Trying.
Dan asked him to.
Yeah,
I'll cut your
just
mics.
Answering the question. Okay. Well.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz Podcast.
Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
A lot of people, Stugotz, were very excited yesterday because Daniel Day-Lewis is coming out of retirement, a person that some people would argue is the best actor that is going today.
Who are these people? And let me be the first to say, people, get a life. I mean, seriously.
Also, by the way, if you're surprised, grow up. Everybody knew that he was not retired. The guy wanted a vacation. Then you say, I'm never going to do one again, so you up your value. So the next time it's like, you really got to give him the bag. He's retired now. He's not going to work again. Please. The guy, all he does is walk around and limp around, pretend like his foot doesn't work or whatever. Like, oh, what a method actor, blah, blah, blah. And now he's coming back and he's going to like live in a fish tank or something. Like, what are we even doing?
There's 3 retirements I never take seriously. Number 1, Daniel Day-Lewis. Number 2, Tom Brady.
Yep.
Number 3, Diana Taurasi.
Really?
Yeah.
How about aging rock bands?
Elton John.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who says
Stones.
the last tour, anytime they say
Any musician ever.
Dead and Company.
they're never retiring. Never.
So you guys aren't taking this where I thought you would be, which is a celebration of one of the great thespians in America returning to work.
Oh, please.
No.
Well, he's coming back to act in, I think, his son's movie, Dan. Do we know if his son is a good filmmaker or not?
I'm going to guess no.
He works hard.
I'm going to guess no.
The name of the movie, I don't know what it's about.
Nepotism.
Is Anemone. Anemotism.
The name of the movie wasn't getting made without Daddy being in it.
Okay. And,
wordy title.
Let's just play Stugotz's previous dismissal of one of the great thespians of our time.
And finally, 3-time Oscar winner Daniel Day-Lewis has retired from acting. Good.
Why good?
Who cares about Daniel Day-Lewis? Takes himself way too seriously. I'm tired of him. The actor's actor. Please, get so deep inside the role. Please, Daniel Day-Lewis. Go away.
Okay.
See how empty your life is without acting. Have fun. Enjoy it.
It's a good point, and we can't even trust that he's not just researching a retiree's role, because that's what he does.
Exactly.
The guy's a liar.
Right. A person who's retired from acting for his next... Exactly right. That's something that he would do.
Well, he is a method actor. When he did My Left Foot, he only tried to use his left foot for many months when he was offset. I would say that Daniel Day-Lewis is one of the few actors that if he leaves acting, it's a genuine loss because he is a thespian.
Mm-hmm. It's the last good thing he's done. Go ahead, name it. I dare you.
I mean...
Go ahead, Lincoln.
There Will Be Blood?
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was back in 2007, though. What have you done for me lately?
I mean, if you told me he was coming back and doing a Paul Thomas Anderson film, I would have been excited. But now I'm sort of holding my breath a little bit.
That sounded like someone doing a Stugotz impression.
It did. It didn't sound like Stugotz at all. I was like, who is this guy?
That was Stugotz.
Full of youth and vigor.
Yeah. Is it because the voice was clearly filled with energy and youth and not sort of tattered by self-destructive tendencies and age?
What are you talking about?
If he was such a great actor, do a comedy. How about Show Me Some Range, great actor? Always do the same thing. Not a great actor.
Here's some range in Stugotz's voice.
See how empty your life is without acting.
That's a good point by you, Chris. Like, it really does sound like someone doing a great Stugotz.
See how empty your life is without acting. Have fun. Enjoy it.
Why does your voice sound so much stronger? I don't know. My voice is also deteriorated, so I'm not sitting here just criticizing you, saying we haven't both aged.
Dan, I'm going to stand up for you. Your voice is not deteriorated. It is aged like fine wine because early Le Batard, very high-pitched and whiny all the time and very upset all the time. I've listened to the first episode. I think I've done this before. I listened to the very first episode of the Dan Le Batard show, and you were so... I'm like, why is this guy so angry? He's like, that's not the kind of show we're going to do. We're going to have Chris Mortensen on. We're going to have the experts on. I'm like, why are you angry, dude? And then it finds out that because people said you guys were going to die within like 12 months or whatever.
I have had tone issues for my entire life doing this, and I've never fixed it, and I've known it's a problem, and I know that it makes me strident, somewhere between strident and sanctimonious, unlikable, and it dilutes my message, and I've never been able to fix it even a little bit.
It's gotten better, though.
It's like, imagine Daniel Day-Lewis in Super Badder, the sequel to Super Bad, and he kills it. That would be incredible. That would be impressive, would it not?
I'll be impressed when I see Daniel Day-Lewis as John Wiener in the Don Le Batard
Daniel
story.
Day-Stuis.
Don Le Batard?
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Stuis.
They got to change the name.
He's just chain smoking heaters to get ready for the role.
Well, they didn't get the life right, so.
Can you imagine what
Coaching
the method acting for Daniel Day-Lewis to play Stugotz would be?
He becomes a Jets fan.
You made it Don Le Batard. Why?
They don't have the rights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got to go Don.
You played hardball.
You got to sign it over, Dan.
You take the A, you make it an O, boom.
I refuse to have Daniel Day-Lewis in a recreation of my life. I absolutely refused. I held on to my name because I didn't want to be represented by one of the great actors of our time.
You're not Stuis, and that's why you were mad. And you
right.
signed
This
it
is like
over.
John Favreau.
You were mad,
right.
exactly. Yeah, John Favreau.
No.
That's
John Favreau
spot
as
on.
Don Lebitard.
Jim Belushi.
Oh, wow.
That's what. Because if you say Favreau, he'll say yes. You got to figure out the name. He'll say yes to Favreau.
I don't think so.
You wouldn't want
had a head
Favreau to
tilt.
play you?
I'm with
No.
Amin. I think he's accomplished enough where Dan would be
No,
okay with
but
it.
as a
Not
director.
thrilled, but okay with it.
Not
Yes.
as an actor.
Yeah.
Dan doesn't want Favreau acting as him.
You don't want Favreau playing you?
I don't know why you would believe that Billy is speaking for me accurately. Like, I don't know why
It's just, you did
He's
the head
never
thing.
lied.
We
Guys,
saw
how
it.
about an aged Leonardo DiCaprio for playing Dan?
I'd go Chris Penn.
Oh, man.
He's not with us anymore.
Rest in peace.
Even better. I think it has to be somebody who looks a little swollen and
Jim Belushi.
is also B-list.
Jim Belushi.
B-list.
According to Jim.
Yeah, I think it can't be Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
Daniel
Now
Day-Lewis
you've gone too far.
is going to be in a movie alongside another A-list actor.
Well, we blew the budget on Stuis, though.
Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense.
Jim Belushi.
That's so you need somebody who is a bit frumpy. How about John Lovitz? He's too small.
Yeah, too small.
You know, I
What
just
about
saw. Go
one
ahead.
of the Baldwins.
Daniel
Wow.
Baldwin,
The one that we beefed with.
the heavy one.
years
Daniel?
ago, yeah.
Zach Galifianakis, not terrible. The facial hair, I'm telling you, you see
A
this
little
picture here?
small, though. He needs to be
Yeah.
bigger.
But we
Dan's
can
too big.
we can hide that at the camera.
Well, how is Daniel Day-Lewis going to shrink himself down to Stugotz
He's
height?
a method actor.
He'll figure it out.
He'll figure it out.
Give him
Right.
time.
Worried about that.
Exactly. He'll take 7 years off. He'll figure it out.
Good luck at 5'8". I mean,
5'8".
5'8".
on a good day.
You guys just dismiss a couple of things about
Then
Daniel.
always add 2 inches.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Welcome back, Jess. Daniel Day-Lewis lived in Italy for a while to be a cobbler. He was actually making shoes in Italy.
he wasn't.
Okay,
Jesus.
I mean, I'm just telling you.
You'll believe
You
anything.
believe exactly right. You
He didn't
believe
make a single
anything they
shoe.
tell you.
You guys won't believe anything. Like that's it. You guys call everyone a liar. Any fact that's placed in front of you. You guys are the reason there's disinformation all over America.
Yeah, we're the reason, not
Yes,
the actor that tells
it's
you
you
he's
guys.
selling shoes in Italy that no one can verify.
That's a pretty good. You know what? That's a good side by side, Chris.
How about James Corden? Would you have James Corden be you?
With jet black hair, he paints it
Be
black.
fun.
It works, I think.
Yeah, I think it works too. James Corden opposite Daniel Day-Stuis. I don't think Daniel
Would it be a musical?
Stuis is going to take that role. What do you have this movie being? You have it being a musical?
Well, we're workshopping it. Yeah.
Okay.
The Don Lebitard show.
Guys, we need to move on.
John Goodman?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Hold on.
Mics
No.
will go off.
Let's speak about another Daniel, Jayden Daniels. The idea
Good
that
transition.
he has started, about 10 minutes too late. The idea that he has started his career completing all of his passes. We spent all of yesterday talking about a truly abysmal Tennessee Titans Dolphins game, while in the other game being played last night, you had, Monday night, you had all completions by the Detroit Lions, and we talked about the dreadful game. We've also talked a lot this season about how bad the quarterback play has been, how good the defenses are, how many 20 to 15 games there are. And the Commanders have the most efficient offense in the league, and this kid is just getting started. Like, how is that possible? Cam Newton came out of the box with one 400-yard game and then settled into being good, but not what Cam Newton became right out of the gate.
Right.
I don't know how many times in my career I've seen a rookie quarterback not named Dan Marino start with 4 games like I got this figured out. I'm okay here. You can slow me some in Tampa, but I'm not somebody who the game is moving too fast for. Like, give me all the examples you have off of the top of your head of a quarterback who has started this well 4 games in, where they start him and it's just obvious right away, oh my God, he's going to be great. C.J. Stroud did some of this.
C.J. Stroud did a lot of that. I can't believe I'm saying this, but 4 games in, Brock Purdy was pretty good. Like, There was no learning curve for him. He was good right away, Brock Purdy.
He was excellent. And it was like a 13-game streak of like, oh, wow, he might be the best quarterback in the league. Obviously, he's got great weapons. But, Dan, on the Jayden Daniels point, like, he's doing with so many limitations, too. Like, offensively, they've got two guys that are okay. Terry McLaurin's a good wide receiver. Robinson Jr. is a good running back. But he's got kind of nobody else. Noah Brown, Diami Hill. Like
he's got him.
Yeah, sure. And he's already doing it with one hand tied behind his back with Cliff Kingsbury, who's not really a great OC.
RG3, at the very beginning, we were concerned that he was going to get hurt. And so I don't remember what his first 4 games were like exactly. He was running around a good amount.
Also, Brock Purdy, not to be a stickler, his first 4 games he didn't play.
Right.
He was on the roster. He was sitting there. He was watching. Then he played a couple of downs.
How about the games he played?
What's up? The games? Well, he played 3 games before the streak you're talking about. I mean, he got into a game. He didn't start the game, obviously. His first 4 starts, yes. But he had been on a roster. He had gotten in some games, 3 different games. What Dan is describing is someone's like, fresh out of training camp. Here I am. Football, this is easy. Like, that's the crazy part.
That part makes no sense. There is no such thing as that, largely. That somebody comes in and the game isn't so sped up that you're watching and you're like, oh, this person has comfort doing what he is doing. It wasn't that for Peyton Manning. I'll tell you that. Peyton Manning.
Peyton had one of the worst rookie seasons of any quarterback in the history of the NFL.
That's a little strong.
But he got all the starts. He started 16 games, and the Colts, Jim Irsay said this. He goes, he has the mentality to overcome a bad season.
He threw a lot of interceptions. I don't know that I would call it one of the worst seasons a quarterback has ever had, given how bad quarterback play is, but I'm still not. C.J. Stroud. It took a minute, correct? It wasn't like this. It wasn't. He takes the field, and you're like, oh, he's got this all figured out through the first month of the season.
I feel like it was right away with CJ. Just getting back to RG3 for a second. His first game as a starter, he was 19 of 26, 320 yards, had 2 touchdowns. I mean, and he ran for like 70 yards in that game. He was good. The team was good. They made it to the playoffs. He got hurt.
I think you saw glimpses with Stroud, right? Because he had played some decent games, and you were like, oh, wait a second. Like, there's something there. Who would make a throw here and there. You'd be like, oh, wow, that's it. And then towards the middle half of the season, it was just like, oh, this guy's incredible. Jayden Daniels out of the box is like 82% completion percentage against a decent team, and then he does it again, and then he does it again. And it's like, could this guy be not only Rookie of the Year, but MVP? Seriously?
C.J. Stroud, his first game had no touchdowns, no interceptions, but the next 5 games, he had 11 touchdowns and 1 interception.
He was great.
He didn't have his second interception until like mid-November. Like he was excellent to start his career.
But with Jayden, Dan is right. It's not so much the numbers, the touchdowns, the yards. He hit he's been good. Hasn't been great. It's the poise. It's deciding when to run, when not to run. It's not turning the ball over. He's been incredible.
The math that I'm doing isn't something you can find in a stat sheet. It is people watching at home, especially the people with teams that have quarterback problems, saying through 4 games of the first month of the season, oh shit, Washington's going to be a problem for a decade if that stays healthy. It's the same reason you're surprised that Jacksonville is playing so closely against Houston, because you already trust that C.J. Stroud. You're already expecting Houston to be a favorite in most of the games that it plays just because of what their quarterback did last season, where I just don't have a lot of instances. As I said, Cam Newton's first game was 400 yards. I don't have a lot. And he won an MVP later on, and they went to a Super Bowl. I don't have a lot of instances when I'm watching a team and I'm saying that otherwise throughout the league, all the other teams are having trouble with scoring, and offense and defense seems ahead because of everything with the preseason. And I'm looking at a franchise that has been among the worst anywhere in sports in terms of leadership for 25 years. Problem solved. Problem solved.
Yeah.
You're also looking at the NFC East and being like, is Jayden Daniels playing the best out of every quarterback in the NFC East and multiple guys with $240 million plus contracts? Like,
that's the other thing.
Well, that depends. Do you value touchdowns?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Daniel Jones is out. I mean, if you didn't value touchdowns, I'm like, wait a second.
That's true.
Danny Dimes.
It's also only 4 games into his career, right? Like adjustments will be made, and then he's going to have to adjust to the adjustments. Like
adjust to the adjustments.
It's early on. And
that's the chess game.
I don't think that you can actually ever say in the NFL like this is a sure thing for a decade, right? Like Joe Burrow, we thought, wow, the Bengals are going to be there forever. They're going to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's still playing well, though, Billy.
But
when he's healthy.
Yeah, but the Bengals are not really a threat, are they? Like, and the Chiefs have the record, but you can look at the Chiefs and say that doesn't look exactly the same if they don't start making moves. Like, there's just not really sure things in the NFL anymore, are there?
We're not sure of anything, Dan.
Well, and obviously because injuries play such a huge role in it.
I'm not saying that I will be right in saying problem solved. I'm saying that everyone's having that sort of reaction, and then you can do all the qualifiers after that. Might get hurt. Football is hard. A lot of things are in play, but you know that somebody's good already, and that the adjustments to the adjustments don't seem to be a problem for him. Like if you're coming out, this is the worst he'll be. He's going to keep getting better with the repetitions of excellence. Like what you're presently watching is the worst professional him.
Wait until he figures it out. I mean,
how can that be wrong? What it is that I'm saying?
This is not the worst he's going to be.
Yeah,
there's no.
It's exactly what Billy just said. They're going to make adjustments, and if he doesn't know how to adjust the adjustment,
no, I'm not saying that this is the worst he's going to be statistically. I'm saying this is the least he'll know. That with reps and with experience that he's going to continue to get better. What I mean
is that all of us?
I mean, yes, it's all of us, but all of us don't start this way. Yes, it's all of us, and you should know as somebody who believes in front office expertise and the measuring of talent that this is as raw as this is going to look. Like if you keep giving him seasons of snaps. And the only thing that becomes a problem is his physical health because somebody might hit him in a way that his body deteriorates. But I just saw Derrick Henry run through a secondary at his age with all of that mileage on his body. And there are things that science can do now that helps these guys somehow recover and stay healthy. Did you guys see Derrick Henry's eating routine? He doesn't evidently eat most days until 5. So he's literally running through your secondary hungry. Like he does.
Well, he eats on Sundays, Dan.
He does eat on Sundays.
Binge eats on Sundays. That's what it is. But no, I saw it, Dan. He doesn't eat gluten. He doesn't eat like a bunch of different things. And then before practice, he'll have like an avocado and like a banana. And like that's what he does.
It's like a weird, bizarro version of Dan. You know how Dan, how is it you don't eat any of these things and you still stay big? But he's in great shape, and Dan's
not running 22 miles an hour through the Bills secondary.
I mean, you've been very mean to Dan today.
Have I? I told him, hey, they're going to make a movie of your life, and they're not going to have the rights to it, but they're going to have Daniel Day-Lewis play Stugotz, and Dan was kind of nonplussed. He kind of poo-pooed, by the way. He poo-pooed some of our acting, like Jim Belushi. Didn't like Jim Belushi. Didn't like Corden. Didn't like Galifianakis.
Didn't like Favreau. Yeah.
Favreau. How dare you say no to Favreau?
I didn't say no
you
to
said
anybody.
No to Favreau.
Accomplished actor, yeah.
A lot of people were speaking for me, as is the case around here.
Jeff Bridges.
Sure.
No, see, that's
now we got him.
But then
get a quick response. Guy. You know, Dan, like that's Amin is right. If he gives you a quick response, that means he's good with it.
Okay, how about they couldn't?
He's mad at Amin.
They couldn't reach an agreement, so they settle on Patrick Warburton.
Oh, Putty.
A lot of people my entire life have been calling me Flounder from Animal House, if you want to get that picture up there from a million years ago. That's something that greeted me my first show on Pardon the Interruption. They were already unwelcoming. Already people didn't want me there because I was neither Tony nor Mike. And what I got was, who put Flounder from Animal House on Pardon the Interruption?
Oh, is that to do with the hat?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, my God.
How about Newman from Seinfeld?
Oh, way nice.
It gets meaner, Jessica. It keeps getting meaner.
What?
Hold on.
What? Flounder? It's like you don't know what you're doing. You were trying to compliment me with Newman from Seinfeld?
Better than Flounder.
Look, Flounder's got the eyes.
It's the eyebrows, too.
That's Levitard eyes right there. Just take this strip right here.
That would be like young Dan, though, right? Like in a flashback scene is young Dan.
Crying at the Miami Herald because he can't succeed at the beat work.
It would be young Don.
Young Don. Who's future Don? Because this is a time travel movie, obviously.
And also, young Don works at the South Florida Sentinel. You got to change enough stuff so that Dan
South Florida Herald, just so we don't get any.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Can you play that audio and that video, please, of a sweaty John Gruden really being excited about Daniels?
You know why I'm so sweaty? I've been watching Jayden Daniels on film. That's it. I just sit here watching Jayden Daniels, and I start sweating. My heart starts beating. Watching him run around, this guy's freaking awesome.
That's kind of porny.
It's great.
Breathy.
It's pornographic. It's
I'll tell you, man, I'm watching them, and I'm just sweating.
Breathy. You got to go breathier.
The sweat just starts pouring out of me, man, when I watch that film.
I want to play that again, please, and I want to tell you, I want to give you this as context. This is not a football coach. This is not a football coach talking about a quarterback. This is just a man emerging from a booth at the Pleasure Emporium.
You know why I'm so sweaty? God, I've been watching Jayden Daniels on film. That's it. I just sit here watching Jayden Daniels, and I start sweating. My heart starts beating. Watching him run around, this guy's freaking awesome.
I love any statement that starts with, you know why I'm sweating? You have my attention.
Why?
Because it's like, no one ever asks, hey man, why are you sweating?
It's a good follow-up.
You got to start with, you know why I'm sweating? Just this is my introduction right here.
I generally know why someone is sweating when they're sweating.
You never know.
They're walking in from a hot outside.
Or
watching Jayden Daniels.
You just left
go.
the gym. Watching Jayden Daniels.
Well, maybe you assume that's what he was doing, and he's clarifying.
That's a lot of sweat to be watching NFL highlights. Someone has to say it. It's too much.
His handle is Gruden Loves Football.
Yeah, he's right.
I saw that. I didn't know that's an aggregator or that's his
I'm not
actual.
sure.
I just looked it up right now while we were talking, and it seems to be all Gruden videos, but I don't know if it's actually him or just someone who loves
Is it
Gruden.
LUV or is it LOVE?
LOVE.
If we go behind
He's
the
the
scenes,
LUV guy.
if we go behind the scenes on this video, did he just get done with a workout and he's doing a thing?
No,
did he
watching
pour
tape,
water
dude.
He was
onto
watching
his thing?
Jayden.
We're not
Yeah.
listening, yeah.
Well, behind the scenes. That's the scene right there.
What really happened? I've got he just took a water bottle and poured it on his chest.
No way.
And it's just like, I've been watching film, man. I'm going to do a video. Hey, honey, I'm going to go in the office. I got an idea for a video. I've been watching Jayden Daniels film, man. He probably hasn't watched any
some
film.
Biden there. Wait a minute. What were those hands?
Well, the hands
were
just-
Biden.
Well, I mean,
The hands were
you want
all
Biden
all
can draw.
Biden.
Listen, man. That's a pretty good John Gruden. If I can't say so myself.
Tony, that was a good teammate, handing him your
it was.
Reno 911 glasses to help him with the Biden
I like-
impersonation.
The noise Chris made while he was putting the glasses on,
Yeah.
we might need to cut for later.
How about that debate last night?
Juju, put it on the poll, please. Is Gruden Loves Football redundant at Le Batard Show? How about that debate last night? James Carville is about to join us. How did you guys feel about the debate last night? I was really hoping that it would just be better, and I'm just generally concerned about all leadership in America.
Was it better? I didn't watch. Was it better?
I had no idea there was a debate last night.
We need to move on. Okay, we got to stay on topic here.
How about Dan Aykroyd as future Dan?
Ooh, I like that. I like
Great
that.
call.
I like
Future
that.
Don, though.
Yes.
Future Don like that.
Don't want to be sued.
You got to be again. Amin is a real stickler about these legal rights. It's got to be the Don Le Batard story. I think you guys aren't understanding. It can't. I have not allowed the rights to my movie, even though we're still picking the actor and asking my
That is
opinion
Mike.
and then ignoring my opinion.
He's very litigious.
Spinoff knows there's no I in football. It's a we thing, an experience best enjoyed together. Whether you're home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together. Because in fandom, there's definitely no I. Spinoff is the perfect vodka for crafting delicious cocktails that are easy to make and versatile for any fans over 21. As the world's #1 vodka and the official vodka partner of the NFL, Smirnoff brings an award-winning taste to every game day celebration. With a rich history dating back to 1864, Smirnoff is all about igniting the collective spirit. So when it's time to cheer on your favorite team, remember, we do game days with Smirnoff. Share the moment, share the spirit, and make every game day memorable. Drink responsibly. Smirnoff bringing fans together, one cocktail at a time. Grab a bottle of Smirnoff at your local retailer and head to Smirnoff.com to find recipes of delicious cocktails perfect for game day. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff number 21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age.
When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meadowlark Media continues to grow as a content studio, we strive to hire only the best and most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they've made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/prep to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
TD, Tutty, in for 6. Touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. We don't care how they score them, we just want to bet on touchdown. And DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Don Le Batard. I just heard a song that had Frank Sinatra singing from the window to the wall till the sweat drop off my balls. Stugotz.
The window to
we all heard
the
that, right?
walls till the sweat drops down my balls.
So what I'm saying here,
all these females crawl, singing, oh, skeet, skeet, goddamn.
Old Blue Eyes.
Congratulations on your Suey nomination.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Looking forward to this one. I've been enjoying watching and listening to this man talk for more than 30 years. He's a Hall of Famer of American politics. He helped run Bill Clinton's campaign in 1992. CNN Films has a new documentary about him called Carville, Winning is Everything Stupid. It debuts Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on CNN. It's getting a lot of buzz at film festivals because he's been a character for 32 years in the face of American politics and in public. James Carville with us. Nice to see you, James. Always nice to see you.
Well, good. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I've always enjoyed your show through the years, and we're very excited about the new film.
The Raging Cajun. This is exciting.
That is correct. Yes. Before we get to what happened last night, James, can you just tell me why it is that America doesn't have better leadership?
Well, I think we have at least we have a choice this time, and I'm enthusiastic about the vice president. But one of the things that I tried to address in the movie is we need to get really good people in politics and not running for office, working in campaigns, covering campaigns, reporting on campaigns. We need to tell people that this is an important business and it's a good business, and hopefully the film makes that point.
Before we get to talking about the film, which I imagine will examine your marriage heavily because it's one of the most unusual you will find, not just in politics, outside of politics, because you guys are aligned spiritually, but not at all politically. What did you make of last night?
I thought it was fine. Vance is a lot more articulate than Trump, but anybody's more articulate than Trump. And Walsh came across like a master sergeant and a football coach, kind of steady guy, plowing ahead, soldier on. And they both had their moments, and I looked, to the extent that it matters, I looked at the post-debate polls, and some were 44-42, some were 50-48. But if you liked one of them going in, you came out liking them, and if you didn't like one going in, you probably came out not liking them. But that's about what I think happened last night.
Any criticism anyway? Because if I were Walls, I would have been mentioning that the person on the other side of the stage had compared his presidential, to Hitler. I would have mentioned that at some point.
I think Walsh may came out a little slow, but that's not his forte. He had a little, but once he got his jersey dirty, he was fine. I think Harris probably came out a little slow, even in her debate against Trump, which she clearly won. But early debate jitters is almost a fact of life, and particularly somebody like Walsh, who doesn't have a lot of experience doing that. But he came around, and I could say, he was hitting it pretty hard once he got his jersey dirty.
A guy who hasn't come out slow, Jayden Daniels, huh?
Oh, man. I tell you, if y'all ever seen two rookies so far from the same university, Jayden Daniels and Paul Skeens, just knocking it like crazy?
No.
I mean, I really hope Jayden stays healthy the whole year, because that's going to be the greatest rookie baseball-football combo maybe in the history of professional sports if Jayden stays on track.
And we're forgetting Brian Thomas Jr.
Skeens' done it. It's historic.
I can't believe, I shouldn't be surprised by this at all, I suppose. James didn't want to talk about politics at all. He was bored. And then all of a sudden you talk.
Jayden Daniels is perked up. How about
that? He was totally bored with what it is that we were doing. And then you asked him a sports question, and look at him. He lit up. He's radiant.
I mean, this man is the biggest LSU football fan in America. How do you get that title? I mean,
I don't know. I'm very passionate about him. I went there. I don't know, 25 of my siblings, nephews, nieces, parents, aunts, uncles. I mean, there's just a long tradition of Carville's going to LSU, and we love it, and it's affordable.
What do we make of Brian Kelly? Is he on the hot seat yet, James? I feel like we're getting close, don't you?
Why?
Well, because
we're not even 500, and he comes, and we go 10-3 for 2 years.
No.
We got the number one recruiting or number two recruiting class for 2025.
Mm-hmm.
But what is this? Let me address this. I hear this crap all the time. He comes to LSU stole Brian Kelly from Notre Dame. It was just about money. Well, Brian Kelly was 12-0 at Cincinnati. Notre Dame stole him from Cincinnati. But why is it okay to steal a coach from Cincinnati but not steal a coach from Notre Dame? Yeah. And why in the hell would Brian Kelly be on any hot seat right now?
Well, I just feel like we're starting to settle, Jimmy. Like we're here, we expect these big things, and all of a sudden it's just like, second best.
Coach O wins championships.
Exactly right.
Yeah. You know what our record was in 2020 and 2021?
What was it?
All right, come on, man. It was under 500. Y'all the national media has the most selective memory of any people I've ever dealt. What is it? It's not just true in politics, it's true in sports.
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, but then Coach O came in and Joe Burrow, and they changed the expectations for LSU, didn't they? And now we're just back to settling.
It was the greatest college football team in history. We were 20-6 the last 2 years. We were under 500 the 2 years before that. I mean, come on, man. We're not really having this. And by the way, next year, and after this year, for the next 3 years, we're golden. I mean, the guy's been there 2 years, and because he left Notre Dame, the media hates him because we just love Notre Dame. How could LSU be so mean as to take the Notre Dame coach away? What are we going to cover on Saturday? We don't have the Golden Dome and Touchdown Jesus, We got to go there with a bunch of Cajuns, eating weird food in the parking lot of the game.
I think that maybe perhaps some people heard Brian Kelly's attempt at a wonderful accent such as yours and thought that he was perhaps a little phony. Yeah. Care to comment on that?
All right. Yeah, I'll comment on it. Imitation is flattery.
Yeah.
So, all right, the guy comes down. If I tried to speak in a Boston Irish brogue, I couldn't do it very well myself. But if you try,
can you try?
Try it, please.
Bastard. But what I can get at. But why would someone be offended because you tried to appropriate our culture?
that's
great.
just it.
Joe Burrow was not from Louisiana. They called him Burrow, E-A-U-X. But I just think everybody in the national media just can't believe he left Notre Dame. We love Notre Dame so much. The whiny crap.
You're
right.
really,
He's right though.
You are really, you're really hung up on this. Let's play for James at the risk of upsetting him. Let's play for James how bad this Brian Kelly accent was.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family. And we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly, to be with you great fans.
If they're liking you want to go a few minutes ago.
Oh, we got the approval from the publicist. The publicist was going to cut us off.
That's because we're talking sports.
That is absolutely right. James, what else are you fired up about in sports? What pisses you off? What else are you mad about?
Well, I'm not too mad. I mean, I think the conference realignment, I think the SEC. I mean, I look how many must-see games we got. I'm excited about Texas and Oklahoma being in the conference. And, I was a little. I hope our baseball team comes back. We won women's basketball, baseball, gymnastics, all in a period of all in a 2-year period. And hopefully our basketball team. Were better last year than anybody thought. Almost like 500 in the conference. So hopefully make some progress there. But I'm really excited about the future of LSU football too. We got some really good a really good crop of kids coming up. But it's a tough world out there. We play in a very tough neighborhood.
Kim Mulkey turned the women around, huh,
He
Jim?
sure did.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Yeah.
National championship, and I think we're Elite 8 last year, and from everything I read, they're going to be pretty good now. And, these games are sellouts.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing I've seen in my life in sports is the explosion in women's sports. And I tell you the truth, the women's basketball college game is they let them play harder than the men do. They play a fast brand of basketball, I think. In terms of the Saints, it was bad Sunday.
Oh.
Don't get me started on that. If we take a timeout with 1 minute to go.
Right. You got yourself
with
started.
3rd and 2. I mean, what are y'all thinking? Not very much. But but I tell you, you got again with Jayden Daniels and Paul Skeens, you can't get any more exciting than that.
So have you been watching Pirate games just because Skeens throws 100 miles an hour and strikes everybody out?
When he's on, I tend to, I can't tell you that I'm, dying to see the August game between the Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. But if Skeens is pitching, I do. It's pretty interesting to see. How
do you manage this though as an LSU fan? Kim Mulkey seems awful.
Kim Mulkey, what?
Seems like an awful person.
She seems awful. Like she seems.
She's not awful.
I know, she seems like it. Right.
She's competitive. Mm-hmm. And this guy in the L.A. Times writes a story about how pristine and precious the UCLA basketball team is, and how the LSU team is a bunch of Bayou rogues or something. We're used to that kind of stuff. All right. But, we're used to, we're UCLA and Notre Dame. Come on. How can you be any better than that? Now, how dare some place on the Mississippi River dare challenge their sports supremacy? I mean, my God. Sometimes people in the national sports media don't have any idea of how ridiculous they sound to people in the rest of America. Mm-hmm. And we saw that in that article, in that lead-up article to the UCLA LSU.
Well, that article.
Kim Mulkey likes to win. Guess what? She will try to beat your ass every time.
That is correct. Yeah. That article was super racist. But Kim Mulkey's politics, you tolerate other people's politics in a way that makes you married to Mary Madeline, whose politics are diametrically opposed to yours for 30 years.
I don't know if I agree. I'm not sure what Bill Belichick's politics is, but if I was going to bet on the game, I thought he was going to win. I'd bet on it. Another thing is they're athletic people. They're they're sports people. Who knows? Kim's from Tickfall, Louisiana. Would you like for me to take you to Tickfall one day? Explain a lot. But she didn't grow up in the top carnival crew in New Orleans, or she didn't grow up in the, sophisticated Union League or something. But she's a tough competitor, and that's what you want in a coach. How the hell she does in politics, I don't care. I don't think some of her political views have been exaggerated over the years anyway. That's not important. That's not very important to me, right? But just
elitism bothers you, right? Like you seem to be getting bothered by elitism.
I'm not bothered by elitism itself. I mean, I think, Milos Forman, who directed The People versus Larry Flint, he said, James, what's with the elites? They cure the diseases. They write the books. All right. I don't have, but what I do have is when people just take a reflexive view that everything about UCLA and Notre Dame is good and everything about LSU is bad. That's where I get reflexive about things. All right. But I look, if somebody went to Northwestern Journalism School and is covering sports, I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, so it's just Notre Dame. It's just Notre Dame.
Well, it's not just Notre Dame.
It's UCLA as well.
UCLA as well.
It's mostly Notre Dame, though. What seems to be bothering you the most is just generally Notre Dame.
Well, generally all the whining and carping about Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame and, Grantland Rice and the Four Horsemen. And,
you can have
all
Brian
that
Kelly.
Shit, the Notre Dame box and Johnny Lou Jack,
Johnny Lou Jack.
But James, to their credit, a big win over Louisville this past week to get back into playoff contention.
Yeah, I had them. I had them, and it was they covered actually. I even bet on Notre Dame. I was getting smoked this year, but I had a good comeback with the Ravens Sunday.
You get the feeling, though, and I don't know if it's just me and maybe the whole there does seem to be nationally this Notre Dame bias, where if there is a bubble team and it comes down to like an LSU or a Notre Dame for the last spot in the playoff, it's going to be Notre Dame, right?
Maybe. I mean, it's a 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
I actually think, it's like the selection committee for the men's basketball tournament, I think they really try to get it right. I really do. A lot of times in sports they're just kind of close calls, and but I think for the most part I'll give them credit. They're pretty conscientious about it. By the way, Georgia's nowhere near gone just because they barely lost to Alabama on the road. They're still going to be around and still going to be pretty good. It was impressive the way they came back.
James, we've been joking around today about having an unauthorized biography of Dan Le Batard, a movie coming out, and trying to cast for it. You were actually played by Billy Bob Thornton in an unauthorized biography of Bill Clinton called Primary Colors. How did you feel about his performance?
I talked to him before, and it's hard to be somebody else, but I was pretty honored that Billy Bob would be the person they choose to play me. That famous line from the book Primary Colors described me as he looked as though he was fired out of a love scene from the film Deliverance. Oh
no, that is not. Look at how that is terribly insulting, and yet you find it funny.
I find it funny.
So a rape in the woods is basically what it is. That's what
And you're laughing.
Yes.
Yeah, of course I'm laughing. But it's pretty funny, you got to admit it.
Is there anything that what are the things you care about more than LSU football, James?
My daughters.
Good answer.
So that's I just think, that you follow a team like that, you know what it means to everybody in the state. You're not just pulling for the football team. You're kind of pulling for the whole state. My sister sits at exactly the same seat I sat in for Billy Cannon's Halloween run back in 1959. So that goes pretty deep, doesn't it?
It does. Jessica has been waxing poetic about tailgating and the LSU night crowd, Stugotz. It's a really special thing.
Great crowd.
So
Yep.
tell us, James, explain to us, as somebody who's been good with words his entire life, the sense of community involved in having the same seat at that football stadium for 60 years.
So the one thing that LSU does, okay, we don't have an Auburn. We don't have an Iowa State. We don't have a Purdue, okay? In terms of big-time sports, there's only LSU. So you don't really have a divided state, if you will. And, of course, the lore of the cannon run back, and we had those seats in like 1959 or so, but I know we had them in 58 too. The whole thing just comes part, and it's a whole state that enjoys it, and it's really fun to be part of it. And I just hope we never lose, but I suspect that's not a realistic hope.
It's a rare place where everyone's connected to, right? Like you find all these places in America that are divided. That's an easy place to remain connected.
And then the night games, because, we're at the end of the summer. So if you live in Boston, you love baseball season and the start of spring because you're sick of the wintertime. Well, we love football season because we're sick of the summertime. And the night games, you get out there and they get pretty juiced up before they get in the stadium. I'll tell you that, man. Oh, they can drink down there. Shit.
That's the truth. That's why the night games are so great. That's the reason.
Right.
They're drinking all day.
My daddy used to say half the people in Tiger Stadium can't spell LSU.
Just half, huh?
The name of the movie is Carville, Winning is Everything Stupid. It debuts Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on CNN. What did you like about it?
I like that the director actually worked in politics and covered politics, so he understood a little bit what we're about. And what I hope people see it and to say, I wouldn't mind doing something like that and get involved, because those guys look like they were having a good time. I mean, so much of everything in our culture is demeaning to politics, demeaning to political consultants, demeaning to everything. And what I'm scared is this is how you end up with somebody like Donald Trump. They say, well, the whole goddamn thing is corrupt. You got nothing to lose. Just do that. And I think that's a dangerous philosophy. So I hope people see this and say, well, that guy earned a noble living. That would be my fondest hope of it.
You have been married, as I mentioned, for 30 years to one of the most prominent Republican consultants in America, Mary Madeline. What is the secret? What is the secret to keeping love alive when you're politically opposed?
It's a lot of probing, and we would do things and we wouldn't get along. We'd fight and we'd find this. If we talked about this, it was better. It comes with I mean, she's truly a fascinating, great woman. She's a beekeeper. She's a world-class editor. She gardens. She's got great taste. She's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful mother to my two daughters. I mean, of all of the things, if you think about that you could have go wrong in a marriage, I think a political difference would not be as high as you might think.
How does it go over with her the way the Republican Party stands on women's rights?
I never speak for her. That is where I just, people ask me her opinion on something. And the one or two times that I've offered it, I got my head bitten off. So I'd have to say you'd have to ask her, because
that's how you keep it going.
That's the secret, James.
You learn your lesson.
James, you just answered the question. You answered the question after you didn't answer the question quite as well, because you just answered how it is you stay married for 30 years right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm surprised that you had a second time where you got your head bitten off. I'm surprised you didn't learn it the first time. You're a smart man.
Sometimes it takes, somebody said this, and I really believe it. The best education in the world is the second kick of a mule.
James, thank you. It has been a pleasure to do this with you. If you have any other sports opinions you want to get out there before you go on your tour talking politics and getting bored talking politics, we'll give you one last chance to give a strong sports opinion on your way out.
Or gambling picks.
All right. I have no idea what's going to happen in the baseball playoffs, and neither does anybody else. The most unpredictable playoff of any professional sport there is. Sports predictions.
Let's do this, James. Give us, for DraftKings, our sugar daddy, give us James Carville's sure thing DraftKings football game of the week this week. A football game you have your eye on the way that you had your eye on the Ravens last weekend.
I gotta talk to my guy.
You have a guy?
I got a guy. Okay.
Wow.
ACL. Okay, but I've been so busy with the movie. And I know LSU's off this week, so I got a little space in my sports looking up stuff. But I think we played the Saints and the Chiefs play, and the Saints had a terrible, terrible loss to Atlanta. I think they're a little better than people give them credit for. I mean, the Chiefs are the Chiefs; they're great, but they've had some tough games. I've got to look at the point spread, but there's a rare weekend where I'm going to really take a good hard look at the New Orleans Saints.
All right, there it is. That is close to taking the Saints. James, good seeing you again. Carville Winning is Everything Stupid is Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on CNN. Pleasure to have you on, sir.
Thank you. Pleasure. For a lot of fun being on here. You're a bunch of fun guys. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meadowlark Media continues to grow as a content studio, we strive to hire only the best and most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they've made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/prep to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.